Today, we're diving into something very timely, Global Love Day. It's coming up on May 1st, 2025.
May 1st, yeah. A date that the Love Foundation has really designated as a focal point
A focal point for what exactly?
for recognizing, our shared human connection, looking at it through the lens of love.
Okay. And for this deep dive, our information comes straight from the source.
That's correct, provided by the Love Foundation themselves.
So our mission today is pretty clear.
Mm,
Understand their vision, the key themes, and importantly, how people, individuals, groups can actually participate,
hmm
according to them.
Right. What does it mean in practice?
So let's start there, the core vision. What's Global Love Day really about at its heart?
Well, the first thing that jumps out is that May 1st date. It's symbolic.
Symbolic of unconditional love.
Precisely. They see it as this unifying moment, a chance for everyone everywhere to connect through, well, compassion, goodwill.
It sounds like more than just a nice idea, though. Is there a deeper philosophy behind it?
Oh, absolutely. The text lays out some fundamental principles.
Like what?
Firstly, this core idea that we're all one human family, sharing this one planet.
Okay, one humanity. Makes sense.
Secondly, the idea of interconnectedness, how all life is sort of interdependent. We rely on each other.
Right. And the third?
And the big one, really, this belief in a universal bond of love, something that fundamentally links us all.
A universal bond of love. That's a big concept. How do they suggest we connect with that?
It's framed as an inside-out job, really. They stress that love, true unconditional love, it starts with accepting yourself.
Self-acceptance.
And self-forgiveness, yeah. That's the starting point. From there, you can genuinely, offer it outwards.
That resonates. It's hard to give what you don't have, right? And they mentioned diversity, too.
Yeah. Yes, that's crucial. Embracing diversity, but doing it with respect and compassion.
So it's not about making everyone the same.
Not at all. It's about valuing the differences, the unique contributions everyone brings.
Okay, so we have these principles. What's the ultimate goal? The hope.
The underlying belief is that together, through love, we actually can make a difference, a real tangible difference.
How so?
They suggest that when we operate from what they call limitless love, things like acceptance and understanding just flow more naturally.
Limitless love. That's quite a term. It implies no conditions, right? Not loving because of something.
Exactly. And the idea for May 1st is to sort of consciously practice that, focus on that quality of love all day.
Like a workout for the heart?
You could say that. And the hope is, of course, that this focus, this practice helps it become more of a constant state year round.
Right. And there were those two main themes you mentioned. Love begins with me.
And celebrating our humanity. Yes.
Let's unpack that second one. Celebrating our humanity. What does that look like in the context of this day?
Well, celebrating our humanity really broadens the perspective. It takes it beyond just the individual.
To the global level.
Exactly. It's about recognizing this is for all nations, all people, actually all life on the planet. It's truly global in scope.
And 2025 is a milestone, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It'll be the 22nd year they've done this.
22 years. That shows some staying power.
It definitely suggests the message resonates with people year after year.
Something else that struck me is their perspective on things. It seems quite optimistic, especially compared to, say, the news cycle.
That's a point they make quite deliberately. They acknowledge that, yes, a lot of mainstream narratives focus on the negative, the problem.
Which could be overwhelming.
Right. But their counterpoint is that there's also so much good happening, so many acts of kindness, positive efforts all around the world to help people.
So it's about shifting where you put your attention.
Precisely. They argue that if you consciously focus on love, you start to see more of the good that's already there. It changes your experience.
Tuning into a different frequency almost.
That's a good way to put it. And when love is your lens, it starts to naturally, infuse your daily life, your actions.
It sounds like it takes a bit of courage, though, to actively choose love when maybe negativity feels more common.
They acknowledge that, too. They say it can take courage to share love in a world that has maybe historically focused elsewhere. It's presented as a conscious choice.
A choice for love, compassion, peace, unity.
Yes. And an invitation to show that choice with others.
Let's go back to the beginning then, the origin. What was founder Harold Becker thinking back in 2004? What was that initial vision?
Okay, so the very first Global Love Day, May 1st, 2004. The theme then was also Love Begins with Me.
Ah, so that theme has been there from the start.
It has. Becker saw it as a day to consciously, acknowledge and celebrate, and importantly, share the love that's already inside each of us.
He saw love as an active force then, not passive.
Definitely. He described it as the glue that binds us and as having this incredible power to heal and transform.
So everyone has this capacity.
His message was that each person is a potent force of love. It's just about allowing it to express itself, letting it flow.
So it's less about finding love and more about removing the blockages.
Exactly. Global Love Day, from the start, was meant as a reminder that love is always present, even if it gets buried under, negative feelings or limiting beliefs.
What kind of things did he mean?
Things like hurt, fear, resentment. He felt these could cloud our awareness of that innate loving core.
Okay, here's where it gets really practical, I think. He talked about reclaiming personal power through love. How does that work?
Well, his point was that when we get stuck dwelling on past pain or worrying about the future, we kind of give our power away to those negative thoughts.
They get trapped.
Yeah, but by choosing to focus on the love that's here, in the present moment, we can break free from those self-made limits.
So being present with love gives us agency.
That's the idea. And Becker believed that when we embrace what he called our unlimited self, the part that naturally understands love, we gain the power to make a real difference.
And that internal shift, it radiates outwards.
It does. He explained that as we practice self-acceptance and forgiveness, the present moment itself transforms. It becomes more peaceful, secure, joyful.
And we see others differently.
We start to see our shared humanity reflected back in others, in nature. We recognize the common hurts, the impact of past ways of thinking that we all share.
That interconnectedness again. What was his ultimate takeaway? His core belief?
It was very direct. Love is the answer. He saw a possibility for a new reality, one built by consciously choosing love over fear.
Kindness over hate.
Integration over separation, peace over war. Global Love Day was and is basically an invitation to help build that reality.
It's pretty amazing how that initial idea has grown. The text mentioned participation and recognition really taking off since 2004.
Yeah, the growth has been significant. They started small, just a few proclamations that first year. Now, over 920 official proclamations.
Wow, over 920 from governments.
From various levels, yes. Mayors, governors, councils. It shows a real increasing awareness and, endorsement of the idea.
That's substantial. And if listeners are feeling inspired now, are there practical ways for them to get involved?
Yeah.
Resources?
Absolutely. The Love Foundation website has a whole section with ideas for individuals, for groups, even for hosting local events.
It's accessible. You don't have to invent it all yourself.
Right. And they've made an effort to cross language barriers, too.
How so?
The main flyer, the information about Global Love Day, it's been translated into over 40 languages.
40 languages. That's impressive reach.
It helps get the message out globally.
And there's something creative, too. An art, essay, and poetry invitational.
Yes, that's an annual thing they run alongside the day. It encourages people all ages to explore the themes through art, writing, poetry.
So it engages different parts of ourselves, not just reflection. Okay, let's get specific. What are some simple things an individual can do on May 1st?
Well, the most basic suggestion is just to be love, to consciously try to embody it.
How does one be love?
By focusing inward on that feeling, and then letting qualities like acceptance, forgiveness, peace, joy kind of guide your actions and interactions that day.
That's a good foundation. But for people wanting concrete actions,
Oh, they list loads. Things like taking time to reflect on self-acceptance, maybe genuinely forgive someone or yourself.
letting go of old beliefs.
Exactly. Meditating on love, expressing compassion, sending loving thoughts out, even just taking a mindful deep breath,
Small things can make a difference.
or sending a kind text or email. Making amends if you need to, forgiving a difficult situation, giving someone a hug,
Watching a sunrise.
watching a sunrise or sunset, yeah. Smiling at people, writing poetry, going for a walk with intention, feeling gratitude.
Dancing or singing freely. I like that one.
Me too. Accepting someone else's viewpoint, even if you disagree. Thinking positive thoughts. Saying something kind to a stranger.
It covers a lot of ground. Loving animals, plants.
Forgiving childhood stuff. Letting go of fear or judgment. Trusting yourself. Accepting the present moment. Visualizing a loving world. It's a rich list.
It really is. What about bringing others in? Family, friends, neighbors?
Yeah, they have suggestions for that too, like organizing a shared meal focused on connection, or group meditation,
Community events.
hosting or joining things like parades, concerts, block parties, maybe anything celebrating unity, special events like candlelight gatherings, art shows, music,
And helping others.
sharing meals with those in need, volunteering, promoting acts of kindness in your neighborhood, reaching out to vulnerable people.
Practical help, too, like reading to someone.
Yes, or small acts of generosity for the homeless. And simply sharing the Global Love Day flyer to spread the word.
They've clearly thought about how this can work in different settings. What about schools? Specific ideas for students and teachers.
Definitely. For students, there's the art, essay, and poetry invitational. That's a big one.
Right.
But also organizing school events for the day. Starting student groups focused on compassion.
Yeah.
Holding special assemblies or workshops.
Planting something.
Planting trees or flowers, as a symbol. Generating ideas. Even setting up a Global Love Day HQ at school to coordinate things.
That sounds very hands-on for students.
Yeah.
What about teachers and staff?
Their role is seen as sharing the value of love and self-acceptance, making sure students know about the invitational, providing opportunities for artistic expression around the theme.
And the PTA.
They suggest the PTA could connect with other schools, pool resources, sponsor projects, share ideas, really foster that community spirit.
Okay, let's shift to universities.
Yeah.
Similar ideas for students and faculty there.
Pretty similar framework, yes. Students can do the invitational, organize campus events, form groups, share flyers,
Talk to professors.
engage professors in discussions about unconditional love, maybe invite guest speakers, host celebrations, do research or library displays, involve alumni too.
So integrating it into campus life. And faculty.
Faculty and staff can support those student efforts, promote the invitational, maybe even weave the themes into courses or projects.
What about fraternities and sororities?
They're encouraged to organize events, link to the Foundation's website on their own sites, hold gatherings, share ideas among themselves.
It's great how they tailor it. Moving broader now, organizations like nonprofits, community groups, how can they participate?
Well, first, they encourage any group to just share their plans with the Foundation. But specific ideas include
Go on.
holding roundtable discussions about love's impact, presenting the ideas to members, putting info in newsletters, encouraging the invitational.
Bringing the spirit into places like hospitals.
Yes, or care homes. Creating their own materials to distribute, linking to the website, contacting their own leaders about observing the day.
Connecting with other groups.
Collaborating with other organizations, Hosting shared meals or meditations, even starting lending libraries with books on love and compassion.
That's a lot of potential collective action. What about the corporate sector? Businesses.
They're invited too. Again, share your plans. But ideas range from presenting the concept to staff, having office celebrations.
To more structural things.
Right, like reviewing the company's mission and vision. Can love and compassion be integrated more? Thinking about it in marketing.
Funding events.
Funding community events, yes. Holding employee discussions. Offering paid time for volunteering. Reviewing policies for compassion.
Incentives for kindness.
Offering incentives for outreach, Asking employees for their own ideas. Website links, sharing flyers, even involving vendors and suppliers.
It's really pushing for these values to permeate different structures. And there was a call for personal stories, too.
Yes, a general invitation for anyone to share what unconditional love means to them personally. Send it to the Foundation.
Beyond all this participation, there's the official side, the proclamations. Tell us more about those.
Right. Those 955 proclamations and greetings over 22 years, they come from governors, mayors, councils, all sorts of officials.
That's quite a statement. What's the main point of getting these official recognitions?
Primarily, it's to formally honor the day and to help create a supportive environment for establishing love and peace more broadly. It's a public signal.
And what kind of ideas do these proclamations usually mention?
They often echo the core principles we discussed earlier.
Such as?
One humanity, interconnectedness, the universal bond of love, love starting with self-acceptance, embracing diversity with respect, our collective power to make a difference through love.
So they reinforce the main message. And they usually look ahead.
Yes, they typically invite the official body to declare the upcoming May 1st, so May 1st, 2025, as Global Love Day in their area.
Encouraging people to live by it daily.
As a model for daily life, yes. And it's worth remembering, the Love Foundation itself is a nonprofit, aiming to inspire unconditional love.
Okay, lastly, let's touch on the founders' addresses. Harold Becker writes one each year. What's the essence of his message for 2025? And maybe some highlights from past years.
For 2025, his welcome address really hits those foundational notes again.
The core themes.
Yes. The universal bond of love, celebrating our humanity, interconnectedness, love beginning with self-acceptance and forgiveness, embracing diversity respectfully, making a difference through love. He frames it as a joyful chance to just be and share the love that we are.
It's a very consistent message. Looking back at previous years, are there themes that keep coming up or maybe striking phrases?
Definitely consistency, but also evolution. In 2024, he talked about us being a global family, interconnected, and self-acceptance being key.
2023 is the 20th anniversary.
Yes, he celebrated our collective capacity for good, again hitting self-acceptance and forgiveness. 2022 focused on diverse ways love shows up and the link between personal and planetary well-being.
2021.
The inner call of love, our interconnected reality. 2020, understandably, spoke about love as a foundation in extraordinary times.
It really reflects the moment while holding on to the core.
Exactly. Go further back. 2019, unifying intention. 2018, universal bond creating peace. 2017, preciousness of all life. 2016, our collective power to change things.
2015.
Spirit of unity. 2014, our responsibility as caretakers. 2013, forgiveness. Even way back in 2004, that core idea, love unites us, starts with self, was right there.
It really paints a picture of a sustained, thoughtful movement. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway for listeners?
I think the core message is really an invitation to consciously engage with unconditional love.
Starting with ourselves.
Starting within, with self-acceptance, and then letting that expand outward to everyone, to the whole planet.
And the next big opportunity to join in this global focus is coming right up.
Yes, May 1st, 2025, the 22nd Global Love Day.
And we've heard there are just so many ways to participate. From tiny personal acts.
All the way to big community events, it's very adaptable.
Whether it's a quiet moment or a group celebration, it all contributes.
Exactly. Every act rooted in love, no matter the scale, feeds into that vision of a more compassionate world.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. How could focusing intentionally on love, even just for one day, shift your perspective? How might it change your interactions?
And then what might happen if that focus wasn't just for May 1st, but became more of a regular practice? What possibilities could open up?
Definitely food for thought. We really encourage you to check out the Love Foundation's website for more details and all those participation ideas.
There's a lot there to explore.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.